The Magic Scooter. Chapter 1: A Birthday Present. It was Caspar's birthday and he had to go to school. But Mom, I want to ride my new scooter. He hadn't had time to try it out yet, and there was a totally interesting touchscreen on the handlebars. You can ride it to school, Caspar, said his mom. So he did, super fast. When he had to leave it in the scooter rack, but he couldn't stop thinking about it. Sitting in class, Lucy suddenly nudged him. Miss Grundy had asked him a question. "Well, Caspar," she said. "Scooter," she said. Caspar, blurting out the first word that came into his head. Everyone laughed. "I don't think the Romans had scooter, Caspar." "They do have scooter in Rome," cried Siren. They're called Vespas, and they sound like giant waves. That modern Rome. We're learning about ancient Rome, Siren replied Miss Grundy. Caspar remembered they were studying the Romans. It was interesting, but he couldn't stop thinking about his new scooter. Miss Grundy held up a picture of a round building with a lot of seats. It looked like a football stadium. "What is this?" she asked. "It's where they did chariot racing," said Lucy, "and had gladiator fights," did Siren. Miss Grundy nodded. "Yes, it's called the Circus Maximus, where they held all kinds of games. Now imagine you are a Roman going to see something in the Hajj arena. I want you to describe exactly what you see. Remember, Rome was a dangerous place. People had to watch out for thieves." Caspar was still thinking about his scooter. Thieves. What if a robber was trying to steal his scooter at this every moment? Caspar stood up, but the teacher didn't notice. He walked to the door, and she still didn't notice. "Where are you going?" asked Rosie, who was sitting at the desk next to him. "To the bathroom," said Caspar quickly. He did go to the bathroom, but then he carried on to the playground and over to the scooter rack. Phew! His scooter was still there. The scooter looked cool. The tail parts gleamed. But what did all the buttons on the touchscreen do? Some of them were flashing. He glanced at the other scooters. He looked different. Casper had to have another ride, checking to make sure no one was looking. He gripped the pedal handlebar with one foot on the deck. He pushed off with his other foot. Chapter 2. The Flying Scooter. Wow, he shot forward, but the cat ran right in front of him. Oh no, cut off the way, cat. Casper put his foot on the brake, but he didn't even slow down. In fact, he only went faster. Out of the way, cat. Casper closed his eyes, worried he was going to squish the cat. Instead, he felt the front wheel leave the ground. Then he felt the back wheel leave the ground. Suddenly, the cat was below him. At first, he thought he must have flown off a ramp, and he prepared himself to hit the ground. But the scooter didn't calm down. The amazing scooter kept going up and up and up. Casper glanced over his shoulder. Fire was streaming out behind him. His scooter was jet-propelled. Now the school was far below him. What was happening? Where was he going? Casper felt cold and clammy.
Clammy.
As he flew through a layer of cloud. Soon the clouds were below him too. When Casper looked through a gap in the clouds, he could see Earth. It was spread out like a map beneath him. One country after another appeared and then disappeared as he flashed past. Desperately, he studied all the buttons in front of him. He hit one, which he thought set home. Then he felt a very strange sensation. It was as if he had a
Whirlpool
swirling in his head. Casper didn't know it, but he was traveling through space and time. He was hurtling into the past on his magic time-traveling scooter. But where was he going? Chapter 3.
Destination.
Room.
Rome.
And the whirlpool. Sensation stopped. Casper could see a long, narrow country below him. It was like a long leg. Down he went. He was heading for a big hill. Bump. Luckily, his scooter had excellent shock absorbers. Absorbs. At first he couldn't see anything because he was surrounded by dust. There was a roaring in his ears, like the crowd at a football game. When the dust settled, he saw a sign. He knew where he was. The roaring was coming from inside the stadium, but there was a crowd outside, too, staring at him. Some were wearing short tunics, and some were in togas. Caspar realized he was in ancient Rome. Caspar rode over to the entrance. "You can't go in there," said the guard. "You're not a Roman
Citizen.
What are you? A barbarian?"
Barbarian.
Caspar realized he must look very odd in his modern clothes, and he didn't know what to say. Then someone in the crowd dropped to her knees. It was a girl. "Can't you see? He must be the god Mercury. I saw him descend from the sky." Now the crowd was murmuring, "What does she know? She's only a slave." Some get at Caspar, puzzled. Others looked at his scooter's flashing lights, but a few people dropped down to their knees. Mercury, they wondered. Could it be? Had the god really come down from Olympus? The girl stepped closer to Caspar. "Please help me," she whispered. "My brother Briggs is in there." She pointed toward the arena. "He is from Gaul, like me. We were captured by the Romans and sold as slaves. I am a house slave. But Briggs was forced to be a gladiator. He had to fight wearing a helmet that he can see out of," she said sadly. "We will surely be killed unless you can save him." "Me?" thought Caspar. But how? He wished he hadn't come. He wanted to go home. This was far too dangerous. Briggs had to find a retirees, a gladiator armed with a trident and a net to catch his opponent. But Briggs will have to fight blindly and
Rely.
Rely on his hearing, said the girl. Oh no, Casper gulped. He doesn't stand a chance. He does if you will help. The crowd thinks you are mercy. One of their gods. Please help me. Please help him. Begged the girl one last time. Casper glanced around. The guard at the gate was on his knees bowing to him. But another man looked at Casper suspiciously. Casper took a deep breath. Whoosh! He flashed past the gatekeeper, through the arch, and into the arena. The suspicious man tried to follow him, but the gatekeeper jumped up to block his way. Chapter 4. Rescue Mission. At first, no one noticed Casper, so he had a few moments to survey the scene.
Survey.
Survey the
Scene.
scene. The seats were packed with hundreds of shouting spectators, including Emperor Nero. Suddenly, there was an enormous roar as the gladiators entered the arena. Then they bowed to the emperor and then took out their weapons. Hurry, they're about to start, urged the girl. She had snuck in behind Casper and was hiding behind a pillar. An official raised his hand. There was silence. Let the combat begin, he ordered. The two gladiators stood facing each other in the sandy arena. Their weapons raised. It was so unfair, thought Casper. But what could he do? He tried to think. The arena was surrounded by a high wall. He would have to launch himself over it. But he needed a ramp for that. And then what? The gladiators started to circle each other. Briggs tilted his head slightly to one side, listening for movement. The retirees moved stealthily, trying not to be heard.
Here.
Then he stepped forward swiftly.
Aim.
Aiming the net over Brick's head. Brick jumped back out of reach. He was very nimble, but the Retiarius was sneaky. He
Whirl.
whirled the net around Brick's head. He
Thrust.
thrust the trident toward his arm. The sharp prongs of the trident drew blood, but Briggs was still able to jump out of the way. Casper began to make a plan. He studied the buttons on his scooter. When he looked up again, the net was on the ground. Brick's head was jumping over it, sword in hand and ready to fight. He closed in on the Retiarius and drew back his arm, about to strike a blow. Suddenly the crowd gasped. Lion! Someone had sent a lion into the arena. It was sniffing the air. It got a whiff of blood and rushed toward Brick, jaws open wide. Springing into action, Casper used a statue of the Emperor as a ramp and launched himself over the wall. The Retiarius had wasted no time. Briggs was tangled in the gladiator's net. The lion was a second away. Casper did a 360 in the air. He grabbed the net.
Wrench.
Wrenching it from the Retiarius' grasp. He hit the button, saying, "Home, not room." He got it right this time, and the scooter started to race up. Chapter 5. Destination Home. Phew, that was close, thought Casper. Was the scooter really going to take him home? But there was something he had to do first. My sister Trixie. Please, Briggs. Please save her too. Casper could see her waving in the arena, happy that her brother was safe. Please, said Briggs. I am sure you can find gold. You could take us home. There was
chaos,
chaos below. Some people were angry. They had wanted to see someone killed somewhere. Astonished had a god actually come down from Olympus to rescue the gladiator. What did this mean? Casper took a deep breath. He pressed descend. Come on, he yelled to Trixie, and as they landed beside her, she jumped on. Casper pressed ascend. Up they zoomed. Casper spelled out "Go" on the keyboard. Soon they were flying over France. Look, there's our village, cried Trixie. Casper pressed descend. The villagers were thrilled to see Brick and Trixie. It's all thanks to Casper, they said. He's a real hero. They begged him to stay for a feast, but all Casper wanted was to get home. He waved goodbye and pressed the home button. Soon, he felt that strange sensation again, as though he had a
whirlpool,
in his head. Casper was traveling through space and time. He was hurtling forward on his magic time-traveling scooter. Soon, when the whirlpool sensation stopped, he recognized some landmark below. First he spotted land. Then he saw his town. Then he saw his school. Phew, gasped Casper as he landed back in the playground. You were gone a long time, said Rosie. I had things to do, said Casper, smiling. Now he was going to write the best description of the circus Maximus ever. He didn't tell Rosie about his magic scooter ride. In fact, he didn't tell anyone. He just looked forward to his next time traveling adventure.